So just a little bit of a bias coming into this week. So the bias in terms of the buy side objective last week was obviously met, right? So if we jump up to the daily time frames here on both ES and NQ, put my camera down here. So jump up to this higher time frame, this daily chart on ES and NQ, we see that price has come up and taken out this buy side level of liquidity on both of these indices. Well, all three indices, I guess, if you include Dow Jones. So if I'm being honest, my bias going into at least the early part of this week is going to be bearish, because I would anticipate there to be a reaction or potential bearish PD raise to form once this high has been taken, which it has. So at this point, it looks like we've already had some movement pre-market, and then obviously right at opening bell, price jumped up into an inefficiency and it's pushing down. So right now I'm looking at this as that market maker sell model starting to roll back over. We came up to that 2 to 2.5 standard deviation level from this very last manipulation down on Friday. We caught 10 points on ES to the downside here Friday, so we caught this move down, and then price obviously rallied the rest of the week to finish off the Friday. So fun stuff there. But yeah, right now I'm kind of viewing this as now that buy side of the curve, and now we're rolling into that sell side of the curve. Again, it's a no news Monday. It's the day before CPI. We had a no news Monday the last like 2 or 3 Mondays. And we all know how last Monday went in terms of just the chop back and forth. It doesn't look rangy as of this very moment. We'll see if that changes at all. But yeah, that is my anticipation. That was what we were expecting kind of coming into today, regardless of kind of what we see at this very moment. But obviously we'll play it out as it is. I'm a little bit bearish as of right now. We did take out the London and Asia session. I almost said Lasia. We took out the Lasia lows, the London and Asia session lows already, and NQ actually just took out the PM session low from, is this Friday? Yeah. So we just took out the PM session low from Friday. In terms of, yes, bearish in terms of like the overall sentiment, I think, going into this week. However, we've sold off a decent amount taking out these lows this morning. So I wouldn't be totally opposed to getting long after these sweeps that just happened. So yeah, I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm open to getting long as of this moment. I'm open to getting long, but in an ideal world, to be honest with you guys, what I would like to do is I would like to get long only up into these intermediate levels of liquidity, and maybe this imbalance like right here. So I really like this imbalance on ES. I'll just jump up to a 5-minute chart. I like this imbalance right here on ES. It already swept liquidity up here. However, I definitely could see price coming up, sweeping this high, filling this, and then rolling back over. So, if we could get long in the beginning of this next silver bullet hour to get up into here, take our profit, get out, maybe see if it starts, rolling back over to the downside. And at that point, we could get in for shorts. So that's kind of my thought process right now. All right, we're getting price pushing up here. If we get a fair value gap to form right over this order block, I'm gonna get long, guys. Looking at NQ, I'm just looking at the relative strength of these candles. You can see the pullback here on ES was a little bit deeper, so it looks like NQ still is the stronger one. So I'm waiting for a fair value gap to form. We gotta let this candle close and let one more candle run its course. So I'm just gonna get ready, guys. I'm gonna anticipate this. It may just close it up here. Don't have to worry about it. Then I'm gonna look to just target these intermediate highs. Yeah, guys, I am gonna get long right there. I'm gonna just do one. Probably just do, well, let's see here. I'm on the express funded, so let's see what we got. I could do 2. I'll do a little buy limit there. Little tiny 1-minute fair value gap. The thing I actually like more than anything is this 2-minute order block, which we did just tap off of it. So hopefully we get one more pullback into this 1 minute. Tiny little imbalance that's left. I know it doesn't look like much. Looking at these different time frames, here's what I'm going to say, guys. If we don't get triggered in before we get to here, I'm probably going to cancel the order. I want to get triggered in before we get to this 5-minute imbalance. You guys are in already? Let me know if you guys got in. I'm looking like I'm gonna miss this. Even this didn't get triggered in. There you go. All right, I'm deleting it. If you guys are in it, I would go risk free. That's why I was asking. That sucks. It tapped into it on the micros. Shut the fuck up. Oh my god, it did. And at this point, kind of looking at this price action. Again, like I said, is the market maker sell model. So this should be a protected high here on ES, which all I was trying to do here is get long into possible shorts. And here, this is kind of that short now. And yeah, we'll look to take it right back down to the low. So we'll see if we can get this trade. This looks like it would be OTE as well. So this would actually be very fitting for even like the supply and demand style I used to trade. I would look for just these candles, which is just an order block. I used to refer to them as institutional candles. I mean, manipulation candle, whatever you want. But the beauty of it is, does it meet the criteria that we look for? Does it take liquidity? Check. Is there imbalance leading up to the beginning of that order block? Check. If we drop down in time frame, we'll see if there's imbalance inside of there. By golly gosh, there is. Check. So therefore, very valid order block. That does kind of bite that the micro chart filled that gap and the E-mini one did not. I will say that. Because entry would have been here. This wick probably would have stopped me out at break even. But you never know. It just depends on, you know, if it filled that order at that tick or not. Possible that you would have not been stopped and you'd be, well, one partial for sure would have been this inefficiency right here. Final target here, as we think price could maybe draw into here, which is what we would need to see happen for this ES trade to activate. But yeah, no news Monday, day before CPI. That was the biggest thing we talked about at the end of the week last week, and at the beginning of the session, is just having the right expectation for this kind of a day. Like you can't come in here thinking like market's just gonna be flying all around and we're just gonna be firing away beautiful trades, because it's just most likely not gonna be the case. But the beautiful part is, it is CPI week. God, I love me some CPI and PPI. My limit order is 44.20 and 3/4. Just got tapped in. Yeah, my break-even point, David, is right here. Once we take out this swing low, that can be a TP one if you guys want. I mean, if the risk reward, what is the risk reward on that? A little over 1-to-1. It's up to you guys if you want a partial error at all. I think I'm just gonna let this bad boy ride. This is actually the first trade on the Express funded. How about it? So technically our target's the opening range low, after the opening range high was swept. How ironic is that? Now, listen, keep in mind, what did we talk about? What could happen? Could we come up to 50% of this candle before we really sell off? That's possible. This was also the one struggle of supply and demand trading. When I'd enter at the open, sometimes it would give me a part of the move. I would go risk free, and it would come back to the 50%, stop me out, and then go. That happened a lot as well, which was always very frustrating. Well, it was a promising reaction. Now we're taking on a little bit of heat now. The end of the hour is coming up here. We are in the macro as well. But hey, if it loses, it loses. We got to be okay with either outcome. Nothing to celebrate yet, folks. Nothing to celebrate yet. Birik, if you closed it, do not chase this. You must live with your decision. If you chase this and get in now and then take another loss, that would be bad. Very, very bad. And there she is. I guess be on the lookout for that. But enjoy the rest of your guys' Monday. Don't take this loss to heart. If you manage risk, everything's all fine and dandy. And I will see you guys on the session tomorrow morning, okay? Enjoy the rest of your Monday, guys. I'll talk to you soon.